Hello everyone. I must say it's very impressive to talk in front of you today. Being surrounded with the AI product community is very impressive. And actually, I believe that for me, at least, I've seen already so many good talks that I think there will be the time before AI Product Day 2026 and a time after AI Product Day 2026. I hope it will be the same for you. Today, together with Thomas, we will talk about how La Centrale is adapting his organization to the new world, and our humble and honest journey to augment product management in our organization. Before we start, just a quick introduction of both of us. So I'm David, and he's Thomas. And as I told you, we are very modest, humble people. And we are actually two augmented product leaders working at La Centrale. And I can see, I think you see clearly there is a good resemblance. The resemblance is very impressive. But actually, this is more a dream version of us. And the reality is far from that. Actually, that was 5 months ago, and being truly honest with you, it's still the feeling I have. Trying to catch the AI innovation train all the time, and I don't know about you, but I don't know, maybe can you raise your hand if you have the same feeling? Yeah. Not surprising, even though after AI Product Day you might feel a bit different, I hope. Actually, the journey started 5 months ago, and Thomas came to me saying, I think I could see in his face the FOMO clearly, and he came to me and he said, we need to have a clear strategy for the product and augment our product management organization. We need to build, I don't know how many agents you asked, but and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Do we even need agents? Can we automate product management work really? I don't do the same thing every day. I don't see so many augmentations to be made with AI. But actually, I believed in it. I believed in AI at that time, and actually, that's how we went to a whiteboard like that, and we tried to figure it out to try to draw a strategy. But after that meeting, to be honest, I was a bit confused, and I did what we all do in that kind of situation. I just opened my laptop. I asked ChatGPT what would make a great strategy to augment our product management organization at La Centrale. And being honest, the answer was not that bad. But nothing really convinced me. And actually, what we did is we started to interview our peers, interview product builders, product leaders that were a bit more advanced than us on the market, and actually some of them are actually in the room with us. And actually we also have the chance to be part of a bigger group, which is the OLX group, and they have exactly the same question than us. So we interviewed over and over, and we tried to extract and understand what we could apply to La Centrale strategy actually. So today is not so much about sharing a new framework or whatever. It's really to talk to you about what we figured out in this journey and what direction we took at La Centrale. And clearly, from the very beginning, we acknowledged that AI was already everywhere in our organization. But maturity, not so much, and the usage was really chaotic. Indeed, every product managers were using AI on their side with different tools and not really in a consistent way. It's like they were using AI, but only for to chat, to ask a chatbot some question, but not really leveraging what AI could do. And we really wanted them to use more powerful aspects of the AI world. And when we asked them, are you happy with AI currently? And most of them actually were already really happy discussing with the chatbot, and their perceived maturity of AI was already high. And that might probably have been because they didn't foresee so much the vast possibilities that AI offers, and that we figured out 6 months later, actually.
So yes, our product managers, they might overestimate their AI maturity. And yes, we might all be stuck in the chatbot trap somewhere. But then again, I think it's super clear to all of us that AI brings a lot of capabilities to the table that are super powerful. So the most obvious one is maybe productivity, but then again, it gives us also skills that we didn't have before. So at least in my case, I couldn't do Python scripts, I couldn't do SQL code 2 or 3 years ago. It gives us access to knowledge, it lets us learn stuff that we couldn't do easily before. And if we ask it the right questions, it will increase the quality of the output of our work, and it will increase our creativity. So I think all of that is not debatable. And in the same line of thinking, it's probably fair to say that AI is more than just a tool, it's a set of superpowers. So it lets us analyze large volumes of data, it lets us draft great first versions, it lets us explore options, support decision-taking, communicate clearly across teams, ideate and explore different kind of concepts, automate repetitive tasks, access knowledge, forecast and anticipate trends, and prototype concepts to get early feedback. So all of that is here to stay, and again, I think it's more than a tool that we get. I think it's more a new way of working that we're all about to engage in, and it's basically a second brain that we all get. And if we think that through, then one way to look at this could be we're all on the transition to an autonomous product delivery lifecycle. So maybe 5 years down the road from today, there might be infinite discovery where the AI synthesizes market signals and user feedback. It will then go on to do its own design system and to evolve the design language by itself. We might see fluid delivery where the UI adapts to the actual user intent in kind of real time, where we have self-healing engineering. And at some point we'll have predictive intelligence where the AI will identify the next winning move. So that could be one vision that's in front of us. And in that vision, that will change our role, right? That will change us from being product managers, analysts, and designers. It will make us operators. It will make us supervisors of work that is produced by the AI. And now at that point, I would like to take a step back and ask you, the audience, to let us know what you think about that. So feel free to take out your phones, scan the QR code, and let us know which are the superpowers that you use today. And clearly, when we come back in 12 months, that picture will probably change. And also, let us know, do you believe in the autonomous product delivery lifecycle? Do you think that's a hype, that's never going to come, or do you see that coming already today? So feel free to join the Slido survey here, give us the answers, and we'll try to share the results at the end of this presentation. Right. So by now, I think it's clear that AI is in reality, that we all will become autonomous, or no, we'll all become augmented product leaders one way or the other. Cool. But now the question is, how do we get there? Where do we start in this jungle of AI tools, of LinkedIn posts, podcasts, and all those kind of things? And even more importantly, how do we make sure that we get through that valley of learning? Because it's clear, we all have to dedicate time to that outside of our day-to-day work. Those projects will cost us money. We'll have to make some learnings and some insights. So how can we make sure that our AI projects and our AI agents and our AI features, how do we make sure that they go through that valley and that they see the other side of this chart? And in order to do that, we need to have a plan. And it's David who has the plan, and he will talk to you about this plan.
Yeah, to define the plan, actually, what we started with is actually something really natural for our product manager. We started to map the product management journey from the strategy, vision, discovery to delivery, and we try to map the friction points and the data available to understand and to focus where AI really matters the most. Also, we try to, like we said a bit before, we try to understand what was the actual and current level of maturity of the team to be able to compare us to our peers, to the industry, to our competition. And also, we noticed that we already currently have internal champions that we could leverage to initiate this transformation of the organization. And we also clearly understood from that point that we needed to provide a set of tools to our product managers, product analysts, and designers. And we didn't want it to let them choose exactly what they want, but we wanted to provide sort of a guidance to them for them to go the right direction from the beginning. And obviously, and finally, what we understood also is what we tried to figure out is how we will measure that this transformation is actually working, and how we are actually slowly or fastly transitioning to this augmented AI product managers or product management. But this plan is that gave us structure, but not really a starting point. And actually, sorry, we thought that to go towards the vision that Thomas submitted to you, we needed to start with something. We needed to start small. We needed to provide some tools. We needed to build some first agents, start evangelizing about AI internally, dedicate some proper bandwidth for the team to investigate. But to be honest, let's skip the theory and let's go for some examples.
Absolutely. And then let's start with the no-brainer phase. Some of the things that you'll see are really easy ones. So for example, one of the first things that we did at La Centrale, and I think David talked about measurement, is we launched a survey. It helped us to align internally. It helped us to understand which tools our teams are using, which tools they wanted to use, which use cases they addressed already today, and how they addressed them. And I think it will also give us the opportunity to rerun those surveys on a regular basis and to see how the AI maturity will change over time. So that's certainly something easy that we would recommend to everyone. But then, as we said before, it's also important that we ourselves dedicate time to AI, that our teams take some time and experiment with all of this. And one easy and one fun way to do that is obviously hackathons. So one thing that we did is a prototyping hackathon. Again, it was a lot of fun. I think it was great for the team spirit. But beyond that, it also created some interesting ideas, and actually some of those made it to our roadmap. And then, last but not least, we could really see that after this hackathon, the confidence in the team to use those kind of tools increased dramatically. So today there is basically no presentation without an AI-generated mock-up or concept that we are able to discuss and that helps us really to align stakeholders on what we're trying to do. In a similar line of thinking, we did an agent hackathon. And the idea behind that is to really go from the individual prompting that all of us do today to something which is reusable, to something which is standardized, to something which is shareable, and that at some point we'll have like the company approval, and we'll ask teams for task 1 or task 2, please use that agent. And eventually, you'll see our little agent workforce in a minute. Eventually, the idea is to connect those agents and then already do some of those workflows, some of those processes semi-automatically, getting closer to that vision that we've talked about. Another call out that we would make is don't try to target complex projects. We're recommending not to go after ROI very early in this stage. We think we've made really good experience with starting with small agents, measuring user adoption, measuring token usage and those kind of things, and then start to glue those agents together. And if you do that, you have the advantage that you will really be able to match your processes. You will not be forced to adapt to tools or stuff like that. So that's really one of the recommendations that we will make to go fast through that valley of learning. We're talking about agents. We want to share agents. We want to connect agents to data. And if you want to do that, I think you need some form of AI orchestration layer. In our case, we're in the comfortable situation that we can use a tool from our parent company, which is Posus. So we can use a tool called Token, and that lets us use different models, be it ChatGPT, be it Claude, or any other one. There are different front ends that we can access Token to. Token is a very easy way to connect ourselves to different tools, different data sets, different MCPs. So that's something that we're starting to use very heavily, and I think at the end of the day, Claude Code, Claude Desktop is a tool, is basically doing the same, and I'm sure there are lots of other similar things out there in the market that you can use. And that's basically just an example, a screenshot from that tool. We're connecting it to the obvious candidates, our Confluence, Jira. We're connecting it to GitHub. We're also starting to use Granola as a note-taking tool, so we can use the MCP to connect it with. We connect it to Outlook, Google Drive, and all those sorts of things, and all the data that we have underneath of that. So here it is, our small little agent workforce. So it's around 10, 15 agents that we have in more or less in production today. So we would assess incoming candidates. We would use an agent to analyze the weekly marketplace data that we have. We're using an agent that helps us analyze Trustpilot feedback or feedback from the app reviews. So that's a little snapshot of what we're using. And one of my favorites in this whole agent universe is an agent that lets us reverse code engineer our code. So we connect an agent to our GitHub repository, and we're around since 20 or 25 years as a marketplace. So not all of the code is well documented, not all the business logic is super clear, and you can use tools like that to let an agent explain you the business logic of our legacy search. So that's really one that I like a lot. And now we come to a real pro tip. You could also go to conferences. Or on a more serious note, I think training on the job, trying those things, playing with those things, gathering your own experience, I think is super important. But then, of course, we're also trying to build skills through internal trainings for the English speakers amongst you. I put an example here from Reforge, which I like a lot. So external tools that give you best practices, references, blueprints. I think that's also an important element in building this AI maturity. And now to level things up a little bit, we wanted to share something with you that were started just recently, because we're talking about agents a lot, but if you don't share the right context with those agents, the right data with those agents, there will always be a little bit limited. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make the context that is around as a product strategy document, as meeting notes, as notes in our own meetings tools. In the data, we're trying to make all of that accessible to the agents. We're transforming all of that in markdown documents that will then be a part of the prompt, part of the data that the agent will have access to. And if we ask agents to describe a feature idea, it will make a huge difference if the agent is aware of the product strategy that we have in place, the OKRs that we're trying to move. So we can already see the quality shifting the more context we share with those agents. Now, we don't know yet whether all of that will be stored in Confluence at some point, whether we'll use GitHub for that, and then we'll check out the latest version of the product strategy. That's something we're figuring out at the moment, but the direction of travel of making information and context persistently available to the agents we work with, that's already becoming very clear. And then, of course, it's not all about agents. It's around the tool sets that we have around that. And that's something that David's going to explain in more detail.
Yes. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to go all the way through all those tools that are in this page. But what we clearly understood is that we needed sort of an AI command center that can be able to connect to already existing tools and all the tools that we will implement through MCP and other technologies. And as Thomas said a bit before, so we clearly acknowledge that we need to collect and organize as much context as we can to feed the AI with and to feed our AI operating system like that. So if we had to restart this journey from scratch, if you are in the position that you haven't started this journey yet, what we would have done if we would have started from scratch is first we would have clearly, like we did, try to understand where you are in terms of maturity and where AI can create the most value. Secondly, we would have turned theory quickly into practice, try to build your first agents as soon as you can, and try to embark your team to get their hands dirty. And finally, try to dedicate some time, and to dedicate some time to do knowledge sharing sessions and having people sharing about the last discoveries, because AI and it changed the way we work so fast that you need to have this kind of time to share within your team. Maybe to conclude, AI won't be. What we really believe is that AI is not another tool, and it will soon be a part of product management itself. And I hope if you agree to that, we can discuss this later in the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.